This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hello everybody, welcome to another gaming jury. How are you? I hope you are all well. Well, today I think is one of the toughest ones that I have ever put together. And that's comparing, okay, and you decide, not me. All I'm going to do is talk a little bit about these games and you decide which one. First of all, we are going to talk about, and this is only one of the 19 different versions I have, Car Wars. Okay, Car Wars, the historic game from Steve Jackson. A game that came out billions and billions of years ago. Well, in my time, you know, when I was basically a lot of your ages, you know, younger. But the thing about this game is it was so innovative for its time. I remember taking micro machines and gluing them on the little bases so we can play and have races and adding different types of turns. It's a game that really is for 2 or more players, but the most interesting thing about it, I feel, is that you can choose just about any vehicle and you can build it from suspension to armor to weapons, of course. I mean, weapons you have to have. And then you know how it added in helicopters and 18-wheelers and then boats and buses. This just continually grew. It went from a little packet, okay, all the way to where you would be able to get one of these compendiums that would absolutely just blow you away. And then, of course, let's not forget Duel Quarterly, which was a fantastic magazine. There's no end to what you can do with Car Wars, and your imagination is and money. You gotta have money to buy some of these things. Really determines how you go. You can make it as simple as you want, or you can make it as complicated as you want. The charts were always interesting on how you would speed up. Okay, you know, by declaring a certain speed, you would be safe on certain turns and certain things with tracks, which was is a very unique way of how to do things. And of course, you had points for your armor, for your tires, and all that other stuff. And as that got worn and destroyed, well, guess what? Your car didn't last very long, that's for sure. But a tremendous campaign and so many other things. Now, what does it face this week? Well, it faces the monster itself. Gaslands Refuel. Now, a few years ago when I first saw this, I compared this to Car Wars, and I don't think I was ever more wrong in all my life. I just said, well, this is just Car Wars. No, it's not Car Wars. This is a completely fascinating system in the fact that it's a post-apocalyptic vehicle mayhem, the best way to put it. And the whole premise really comes down to that you are going to be taking your small fleet of vehicles, and what you're going to be doing is trying to engage in battle for resources, dominance, and survival in the hopes of getting off Earth. Okay, so the elite on Mars, because everybody left Earth because it's just basically trashed, and decided to colonize on Mars. So basically, you're taking your vehicles in hope that you are going to get to a primetime TV and get sponsors, different vehicle types, and all these other things. The really unique thing about this is, first of all, the background is tremendous. But what really is amazing is shifting gears. Okay, as you are speeding up, you're dropping and adding gears, which are going to kind of really, on your template, determine where you go, because you can't pre-measure things. So you just don't know how you're going to end up turning, how things are going to go. Who are you going to hit? A teammate? Are you going to trash everything? Are you going to be able to race across a finish line and survive? there's so many different things that go on in this. And the real neat thing is all the different types of vehicles that you can assemble, the perks that you're going to be able to assemble into your vehicle, and your fleet that you have, or group of cars, however you want to call it. It's really just absolutely fascinating how you're going to take and hopefully get off of ravaged Earth and become one of the elite on Mars. That's really cool. The gameplay is fantastic. Ramming, skidding is a huge thing. Where Car Wars uses a system where, depending on how fast you're going, by mileage, you know, maybe you're going 5, 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, you're more concentrated about gears on Gaslands. Now, Gaslands is a tremendous experience, and both these games just add so much and do so much. And just recently, there was a Kickstarter last year for a Super Deluxe Edition, which I can't wait to see, where they are actually going to have bigger and already pre-made vehicles, which, the minute it comes out, boy, I'm going to get my hands on it. Gaslands, you're going to be taking whatever cars that you can find and souping them up. And I think half the fun is creating your own cars, taking old matchboxes, because you're playing basically in that matchbox range. And I've taken a number of them. I've taken old parts from Warhammer 40K, old machine guns, and flamers and stuff like that, and really made some fascinated, banged up cars, adding, grills and all this other stuff. Half the fun is making your cars. Also in Car Wars, hey, you can do the same thing, but you got to do it on a smaller scale. Like I said, in the old days, we used to take the old micro cars and glue them to the bases and paint them all up and bang them all up and things like that. So there was just so much that you can do with both these systems. So I really think that you really have a tough choice here, and I don't envy any of you out there. So is it Car Wars Deluxe Edition? Any edition that you think? From the little baggie all the way to the box sets. Or is it Gaslands Refueled, the new kid on the block? Is that the one that you consider the best game? There's only one way to find out. You, the jury, makes the decision. I don't envy you. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob.
The end of the game, and you could get this from Miniature Market, right, Grandpa?
You can get this from Miniature Market. That's right.
Yeah, everything you need. Bye.